Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. So today I'm going to be answering questions YouTubers refuse to answer, or questions that you're too afraid to ask YouTubers. I saw Fab Han do this, and then I also saw my friend Demi Donnelly do this, and I thought it was a really fun video idea, so that's what we're going to be doing. I thought this was such a good idea for a video because before I ever started YouTube, like, I've always been obsessed with YouTube. Like, I literally wanted to start my own YouTube channel since I was like 11 years of age, and a lot of these things are things that I didn't know before starting a YouTube channel, but things that I always wondered about and I always questioned and I always wanted to know, like the ins and outs of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready to party with Jessie? I think that is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done on the internet. Our first question is, are you ever worried you won't be able to sustain a lifelong career from YouTube? Now, I know that a lot of people ask this question and have asked this question throughout the years, but honestly, no. Because you could be in absolutely any job in the world, unless you're under like the private sector, like, you know, where you're safe and you've got a big union behind you. You know, most jobs that people have though, you're not safe like long term, so you could lose your job no matter what you're doing at any point in time, or something could happen where the company goes bust, or you're let off, or you do something and you're fired. There's so many different reasons as to why you could lose your job. But for example, like if you even work in a shop, you're not going to sit there worrying, oh, what am I going to do if I lose this job? Like, why would you do that? We could make ourselves so miserable regards everything in our lives if we were doing that. Like, oh my god, what if this family member dies, or what if this happens to this person, or what if, you know, there's so many ways you could do that, but it makes no sense because that's no life to live. I try not to worry about the future. Now, I am a big overthinker, so sometimes that's easier said than done. The way I think about it is, this is my job right now. I'm very happy in my job right now. I am very comfortable in my job. I'm able to support myself financially. I'm completely financially independent. I don't rely on anyone else, and I can pay for anything I need, and I can feed myself, and I can pay my rent, and I can pay my bills. Like, what more do you really want from a job if you're able to do all of that? But the long and the short of it is no, because if I ever lost my job, I would just get another job like everybody else does in this world, you know? Have you ever been romantically involved with another YouTuber? No, I have not, and I never will. I feel like I've learned from a very young age, also from my sister, because my sister dated a few people in the YouTube community, that it's just something that I never want to involve myself in. I feel like it's not, most of the time it's not genuine. I don't feel like I'd be comfortable being romantically involved with someone where I felt like it was very transactional and we're just in this to get this off each other and that off each other. Like, I can't stand it. I know there's a lot of couples on YouTube where it is very transactional, and I feel like maybe when you do YouTube yourself, you're able to like spot these things more than you would if you weren't doing YouTube. But I just don't feel like that's a sustainable long-term thing, and I would rather be with somebody where we're genuinely with each other for the person we are and not for what we can offer each other, do you know? Because I feel like that's what it should come down to at the end of the day. Like, the person you're with, you shouldn't have ulterior motives. Like, you should be with them because of who they are and nothing else. Does it frustrate you that the YouTube algorithm prefers other YouTubers more? So it's not that the algorithm prefers other YouTubers more, it's the fact that the algorithm prefers PG content, very PG content. The algorithm doesn't like people talking about sex, doesn't like people talking about taboo issues, doesn't like people talking about LGBTQ+, doesn't like people talking about real life shit, because it's not PG and it's just not what they stand for. So that's the only reason why the algorithm really affects me in my channel, and it doesn't often push my videos out to most of my subscribers. I get messages from you guys so often where you didn't know I uploaded, or you haven't seen that I uploaded in weeks, etc., because the algorithm isn't sending it out to all of my subscribers, and that is solely because of the kind of content I post. But I was kind of aware that when I started my channel, that if I was going to talk about this stuff, it would really affect my channel. It would lower my CPM. So your CPM is how much money you'll make per 1,000 views, and my CPM is really low. Like, I can't even afford to buy my food for the month with what I earn from AdSense, because I earn so little. Like, I don't even look at AdSense as an income because it's so low. But I made that decision that I wanted to try and make a little bit of difference in even one person's life if I could, by talking about real shit, because a lot of the stuff I've talked about on my channel is stuff that I either struggled with at one point, that it really affected me, or just things that I wish I could have got more information on when I was younger, and things that had I have known I would have saved myself a lot of pain and a lot of heartache and a lot of stress and a lot of confusion had I have known when I was younger. So I kind of decided to go down that route, even if it would affect me. I personally feel like I get a lot more value out of talking about these things online than if I was just like, you know, doing very PG content like a lot of YouTubers do, and I get it. It's because like they want to make as much money as they can or whatever, but I feel like if you're just in something for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Like I feel like you should always have good intentions with why you're doing something and not just doing it because you want to gain something out of it. Since we're on the topic of how little I make from AdSense, the next question is, how much did you earn from your last video? So I don't know exactly. I'm going to put it up here. My last video was demonetized because I was talking about sex, so I'll put up my last video that was monetized. I think it was like $30 or something like that. Like it really wasn't a lot. As I said, don't make much off AdSense. Now every channel is of course different. Like I know a couple of people who make a hell of a lot off AdSense and can genuinely just live through AdSense, but their content would be like on a different level, their CPM would be a lot higher. The next question is, do YouTubers have to pay tax and pay into their pension? I find this question so funny because I'm like, of course we have to pay tax. Of course. Anybody who makes money from doing anything has to pay tax. Unless you're a criminal or you're a thief and you're trying to get away from it, but eventually that will bite you back in the ass, I promise you. But yeah, of course we have to pay tax. We don't have to pay into a pension because you only have to pay into a pension if you're with like a big company and it's like something that they make you do, you have to do. We can go and pay into a pension separately if we choose to do that and like sort that all out ourselves, but it's not something we have to do. The next one is, how do you feel when people put YouTube down as a job? Okay, well, I honestly feel like somebody's going to put down nearly every job out there. It's just the way it is, because people are judgmental, unfortunately. That is the way the world goes around. I personally don't get why people put YouTube down as a job, because I'm just like, if somebody's able to have a roof over their head, pay for their food, pay for their bills, support themselves and what they need in their life, then what is the issue? And if somebody is also happy in their job, what is the issue? Like, so many people work jobs that they absolutely hate and jobs that make them miserable. So if somebody is actually doing something that they love and it's also their job, like, why are you being bitter about it? Like, why do you have an issue with that? Like, I really don't care when people do. Like, Fab Han actually said something in her video and it killed me. She was like, tell the taxman that. Like, tell the taxman that it's not a real job. You know, a lot of people say it's not a real job. And honestly, go tell the taxman that, because if we're paying the amount of taxes that we have to pay, baby, it's a job. It's a job. For example, you could have somebody who doesn't want to go to college, etc., and they're quite happy to work in the likes of Aldi or Tesco for their life as a 9-to-5 job, and you'll have people having to go at people who want to do that. But like, why? Like, if it makes them happy, if they're paying their bills, what is your goddamn problem? The next one is, if YouTube paid $0 and no company was willing to sponsor, would you still do it? Yes, definitely. I started YouTube as a hobby, so as I said, I've only been doing it full time coming this August, so it's not been that long. And before that, I was doing YouTube for nearly 2 years, was it? Yeah. Just as a hobby. Like, I was making hardly anything, very little. So I started YouTube as soon as I left school. So once I did my final exams, I knew I was going to start YouTube because I didn't have the balls to do it when I was in school, and I'd been wanting to do it for years and years and years, but I didn't because I was in school. And I just started it as a hobby. I was still working in my job, and I was honestly just looking for a community and somewhere I could express myself and just relate to people and connect with people. Just a place where I could be me and do me and meet other people who were similar to me, because I didn't have it easy growing up. I didn't have it easy in school. I was kind of quite different to a lot of the people I was around. Like, I didn't relate to most of the people I was around, and I didn't have anything in common with them whatsoever. So I was just in a very lonely place when I left school, and I was just looking for a little family, you know, and that's all it was. Like, I never thought it would turn into a job. I never thought it was going to turn into anything else. And it just did slowly. And then I was just kind of like, you know, this is something I love And I feel so lucky that it's gotten to the place now where I can leave my job and just go with this full time. And you know, it was just something that I kind of fell into and something that just kind of slowly happened, and I'm so grateful it did. But the reason I started it was never for the money. Like, the reasons I started YouTube was because of everything I said. Yeah, so even if there was no money involved right now, I would still be doing this, because like when I started YouTube, I was working 4, sometimes 5 days a week, and then on my days off, all I was doing was YouTube. Like, all I was doing. I wasn't doing anything else because I loved it, and that's what I was doing on my days off, you know, so that wouldn't change. So does using affiliate links actually make you enough money to see a difference? So if you don't know what an affiliate link is, it's a link that an influencer, I hate that word, uses. So just say if you see someone put on their story like a top and they're like swipe up AF or AFF, that means they're using an affiliate link. So if you swipe up and buy something through that link that they have attached, they will get a very small cut of the affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anymore, but they will just get a very, very small cut. Like, it could literally be €1, or, you know, it's very, very small amount. Now, I personally don't use affiliate links at all. Like, I don't know, you probably know that because you've noticed it on my stories, or you'd notice it under YouTube videos. Like, a lot of YouTubers will link loads of products under their video, and they're all affiliate links. So like, they literally link their lipstick, their earrings, their bloody hair bobble, like everything. It's just not something I've ever done. I don't know if I ever will, but I've not done it this far. So I do have a couple of friends though in the industry, and I know that they do make quite a decent amount a month using affiliate links. So yeah, you definitely can make a decent amount, but I couldn't personally tell you from experience because I've never ever used them. I might have used them like once, and I didn't even use the link right, so it didn't even work. This is a really good question. How transactional are collabs? It doesn't seem friendship based unless it's your sister, etc. I have not done a lot of collabs on my channel. I'm sure you've noticed that. I've only done a few collabs. Yeah, really not that many. I would say 70% of the collabs you'd see are transactional collabs. Like, I literally see people film together, and then you will never ever see them together again or mention each other again, and it's just like they don't even know they existed. Like, it's so transactional, it's actually funny. I would never have an interest in doing that. Like, it's the same as the romantic, being involved romantically with another YouTuber. Like, why? Like, why do you feel the need? You need to be fake to be what you deem successful in your career. Something I have noticed in this like YouTuber kind of world though is that like a lot of people, like, they won't have an interest in collabing with you unless you're bigger than them or on the same level as them, which I absolutely can't stand. Like, I've done a couple collabs with people who have literally got like a couple thousand subscribers, and like, I don't care. Like, why do you care? If you care about that stuff, you're just doing it. It's transactional, and that is all it is. I find this question really funny. Do your parents or friends ever tell you say too much in your videos? You obviously think I say too much in my videos. See, this is it. Like, I am so open online, like so open, so honest. I have never had anybody in my life, friends, family, my boyfriend, ever say that I say too much on the internet, because at the end of the day, I'm a 22-year-old grown-ass woman. I live in my own apartment. I pay for everything myself. I support myself. So why the hell? Like, it's nobody's business. If I feel comfortable sharing something, then what is the issue? Do you get to pick the ads that are shown before, during your videos? No, you don't. You get no say on the ads that are shown before, during, or after your videos whatsoever. I kind of wish you did get a bit of a say, because sometimes they can put ads in that I really don't agree with, or I don't want to be promoted on my channel, but unfortunately you don't get a say. How do you draw the line between what's public/private? Even though I share a lot online and I am very open, I do keep a lot of stuff private. Like, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't and I would never put out on the internet. But I guess it's just kind of how I feel about something. If I feel comfortable saying or posting something, I'm gonna do it, and if I don't, then I'm not. Like, it's literally as easy as that. I do keep my relationship quite private, and that's actually something else. Like, I've got asked quite a lot of times now to film a video with Nathan, and maybe one day we will. Like, I'm not going to say never, but definitely not anytime soon. Like, Nathan is not into the whole social media world. Like, he is so supportive of me, and like, he couldn't be any more supportive, but he doesn't feel comfortable in front of a camera, and I completely get that, because most people couldn't do this. Like, most people on planet Earth couldn't sit in front of a camera and talk like this. Like, I even remember when I started doing it, it was so weird. And if you go back and look at my old videos, like, I was so insecure. I was like, oh, I hadn't found myself when I started my channel. So I completely do get the fact that he's not comfortable in front of a camera, and I'm never going to force him to do that, because as I said, like, I'm with him for him and our relationship for all it is, like, not to portray it as this like perfect thing on the internet. Are you ever embarrassed to tell people you're an influencer? I never use that word. Like, if somebody goes, what's your job? I don't go, honey, my name's Jessie B and I'm an influencer. Every time someone says that word, I want to anytime I see people in a YouTube video or on Instagram calling themselves an influencer, I'm like, baby girl, sit yourself down, have a reality check, and come the fuck back to me. I prefer to call myself a content creator. I feel like that suits me a lot better. But no, I'm not embarrassed. The only time I find it a bit difficult is when it's like somebody of like a much older generation where they don't get it. Actually, not even a much older generation, because even when I started, like, my mum and dad were like, what? Like, what are you doing? And now they're just like so supportive of it, and like they completely get it and understand it, because they've seen the ins and outs of it, and like they've seen like how hard I do work and everything that goes into it, etc. So especially because like the online world and like YouTube and all this, it is still a very new thing. So people of like different generations, they don't get it, like they just don't understand it. Which I completely get, because it is a weird thing. Like, I get that people don't understand it, and I get that people question it. But for example, like one of my partner's aunties, and she'd be in her 70s, or is it early 80s? She's of like a couple generations up anyway. And I remember she was asking me what I do, and I was explaining to her, and I was really nervous because I was like, I didn't know, you know, how it was going to go down. But she was like just so in awe and amazed and so interested, and I was just like, my heart was so full, and I was like, this is so lovely, because I just didn't expect it to go that way. Like, I just kind of thought she'd be like a bit judgmental and a bit like roll the eyes, like whatever. But she was so like just wanting to know more about it and wanting to understand, and she was like, I think that is amazing that you're doing that. I would have never been able to do that. I think it's so great that you're talking about all these things and all of this. She was like, you know, because she was saying how when she was younger it was all like sweeping under the carpet and all this kind of stuff, and nothing was ever spoken about, and how it was really hard and all, and that just made me so happy. But yeah, I'm not embarrassed, because I love doing this, and I feel so fortunate and so grateful that this has become my job, and I literally thank my lucky stars for that every day. So I'm like, if somebody wants to judge me, like, that is fine, like, judge away. Like, you've got to have a thick skin doing YouTube, like you do. I'm a sensitive person, but I have grown a super thick skin since I started YouTube, because you just have to. And if you don't have a thick skin, you can't do it, because people have different opinions. People are going to have stuff to say on your opinions and what you do and how you live your life, and yeah, you've got to accept it, because at the end of the day, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, somebody's going to have a problem with everything you do, so you might as well do what makes you happy at the end of the bloody day. Like, that's honestly what I think. Do you have a steady income every month, or does it differ? So it definitely differs, because I feel like any self-employed job, it's going to differ, because, you know, it's just the way self-employed jobs go. But I don't find that it affects me, because like it does be very level over the years. So like, I could not get paid for just say 2 months, but then I could get 3 or 4 months wages in 1 month. And obviously I'm not stupid with my money, so I'm not going to go and like, oh, just got paid, gonna go spend it. Like, no, I know that I've got to be smart on my money, so I'm obviously going to make sure that that lasts over the next few months, so it completely evens out over the year. Like, I never worry about it, because I always know that like I'm due this payment or that payment, and even if it does take a month longer to come through, it doesn't matter, because I am not stupid with my money, and I'll always have a bit of money there in case I am a bit late getting paid or whatever. Oh, I'm dying. Why are they afraid of speaking the truth and stick to PC nonsense? Honestly, like, sometimes I'm watching like a 26 or 7-year-old grown woman on YouTube and I'm like, bitch, like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I literally know everything you've been through in life, going through. You could be helping so many people and you're just there talking about your bloody favourites, like your bloody favourite shower gel. Again, because it makes them money. Let it rain, baby girl, let it rain. That's why they stick to PC nonsense. Oh my god, I sound like such a bitch. Do you have any issues / beef with any YouTubers? No, I don't have beef. You don't have beef? I feel like that's such an aggressive word. Like, do you have beef with someone? Or it's like such an American word. Like, you'd never hear someone in Ireland go, do you have beef with your one? I don't have beef with anyone at all, like anything personal, but there are definitely like a couple people where I saw their true colours and I saw that they weren't as genuine as I thought they were, and I saw that they had ulterior motives, and therefore, you know, I changed my opinion on them. But that's not beef. Like, that's just like everyday life, like realising somebody's not who you thought they were. Do you find YouTube can be bitchy / clicky? Yes. I feel like YouTube in a way is like going back to school, because like it can be very bitchy and clicky, but I just don't involve myself in that. Like, I really don't, and I don't know if you guys can like see that, but I just kind of stay away from it because I've got no time for it. Like, I was the same in school. Like, I stuck with my 1 or 2 bitches and that was it. Like, because I don't have time for the drama, I don't have time for the bitches. I can't be arsed with it. Like have you not got on better to do? But yeah, it is very clicky, and as I said, like the number thing, like people just want to be friends with people who have more numbers or the same numbers, and it's not very genuine, I find, a lot of the time. Like, there's certain people who do YouTube that I would love to be friends with because I feel like we're so similar, but I feel like, you know, they'd just be like, oh, I'm better than her. Like, I am better than her. Like, and I just don't get it, because like I don't feel that way, and I've never felt that way with anyone, because I'm just still me, like Jessica, and I'm just still such a normal girl, and so are you, and I know you're also such a normal girl, because bitch, I do this too, and I know how normal we are. Like, we're no different. Like, just because you've got a few followers online, it doesn't make you more superior than anyone else. But I feel like it does go to a lot of people's heads, and it's something that I noticed since starting it myself. Like, it definitely does, and I hate that, because I wish people could like collab with people because they genuinely like them and get on with them as a person, or become friends with someone because they genuinely like them as a person. You know what I mean? Like, my best friend, for example, like in real life, like, we're best friends and we've been friends for so long because we get each other as people, and our humour is the same. We get on so well, we have so much fun together, and you know, we all this. But why can't it be the same? Like, it's just not. Like, on YouTube you see people being friends and you can literally tell that they clash and that they don't get on, but they will still be friends because they're going to gain something from it. And I just hate it. I hate it. I've literally been talking for so long. Okay, so the question we're going to finish on is, what's the really dark side of YouTube that no one ever talks about? So I would say how lonely of a job it can be, because like, you know, when you go into a job, you normally will have interactions with your colleagues or customers or whatever it might be. Like, you know, it's a super lonely job. But not only just that, I would say the other thing is that you're always questioning people's motives. I literally had somebody go out with me, ask me to be their girlfriend because they wanted other things from me. And then they left as soon as they saw that I wasn't going to give them said things, because I did have a bit of an inkling. I had a gut feeling, but obviously bitch didn't listen to her gut feeling. So I am here to tell you to always listen to your gut feeling, because it's right. It is literally right. But yeah, I wasn't giving him said things, and when he realised I wasn't, he was like, see you later. And yeah, you have to kind of question people, and it's really shit. And I only kind of started questioning people because the year of 2018 and kind of a little bit of 2019 as well, I had a couple of people really fuck me over and show me their true colours, and that they wanted more than just me as a human being in their life. Bitch, I am the gift that keeps on giving. I don't think people realise how crappy and hard and much it can mentally fuck with you when, like, whether it be a friend or someone romantic, like, and you're like really like this person and getting on so well and etc, but then it gets to a point where they fuck off because they weren't getting what they wanted off you and you weren't giving them what they wanted. Like, that is really hard, and that really affects you as like a human being with a heart and a mind, because like, come on, like, you know, we're just humans at the end of the day. I have been talking for way too long. I'm going to piss my pants. I am all out of water, so I think we're going to call that a video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I have been talking for so long. I literally have hours of footage to edit. So friends, thank you so very much for watching. I cannot wait to see you all in my next video, and I love you all so very much. Bye bye friends.